Let's get some people in the stream. Like this video, y'all. The whole Duke 093 Lil Boosie thing case just got heated up, y'all. So I'm going to let everybody get in here. Once everybody gets in here, I'm going to talk about the whole thing. The whole case just got heated up, y'all. Like this video on your way in. Comment down below. Let me know where you guys are from. We about to get started, y'all. R.I.P. Duke. Put the Duke the Jewelers in the chat. Hey, share the stream. Share the stream. I'm about to get started, man. We about to go in on everything. The whole Boosie, Duke, the jeweler, everything just heated up, y'all. We about to go in on it. Okay. Welcome in, everybody. Like this video on your way in, man. Everybody like this video on your way in. Y'all see, we pulled up the whole dice game and everything, man. I'm going to show y'all how this could have been a planned setup, man. This whole situation with Boosie, Duke the jeweler, everybody's going crazy, man. Like, people are saying that he could have got set up, man. And it's kind of obvious when you really open your eyes and you look at everything that's being presented. Like, they knew he was just with him and his girl, man. And so you see how in this video, somebody is recording Duke on his phone. So you see how they close to Boosie. Who could get that close to Boosie, man? Boosie came out on Vlad and said that he knows everything that happened with Duke the jeweler, but he's not involved in it. So, like, how did you see it go down? Because in that parking garage, is the last time they seen Duke, man. Right before he got hit up, they was all walking to their cars. And he's supposed to be following Boosie back to the after party or to the hotel. So you tell me, like, if he told him, hey, you going to follow me to the concert, you going to follow me to anywhere next place, right? Then it's like, why is it that he gets hit up when he's going and getting in his car to go follow Boosie and them? Everybody pocket watching on that dice game. Pretty much everybody that was at this dice game is also at that concert. So y'all got to understand that the same people who saw how much drip he had on, how much jewelry he had, how much money he had with him, they're the same guys that were waiting in the backstage of the concert, man, right there in the dressing room. They actually, some of them was hanging out and getting their bottle from the parking lot. Like, they parked right next to Duke, man. And so I want you guys to see something. I want you guys to see how when Duke went to right before he went to the whole thing at this dice game, y'all, you got to realize that he was up inside. He was with his girl, y'all. Look, he got the same fit as the dice game. He got the same fit on. You see the same chain. You see that shirt. It's that same gray shirt, that same hat, black gray hat. He even got on the same watch and jeans, right? So, boom, like, if he's standing here, it's his girl taking the picture. So they really actually he didn't come alone. Like, he came with a whole nother person. And so if she taking a picture of him here, then that means it's the same girl holding the video to get the film here, because he's wearing the same hat, the same shirt. And it's like, that's the same person that had his phone, who took that picture and the picture before, man. So I'm trying to show y'all, like, once again, if you really look at everything, and this is straight from his page, man. Like, who had his phone the whole time? He's got the phone in his hand. He's got two phones. So somebody had his personal phone. He was holding on to the business one. And that's where everything goes crazy, y'all. Like, you got to realize that he got on the same fit as the dice game. And so it's like somebody was watching him the whole time, man. You can't trust people. Like, did they put her up to this? We don't know. But it's like a lot of people are first saying he didn't have security. He was there alone, this, and that. No. If you really look at what's going on, it's that he did come with people. And it's like, where did they go once the shots rang out? Once he went into that whole parking garage and everything like that, where did they go? The person who filmed this, like, where are they at now and stuff, and what did they see? Because they had to have been with Duke the jeweler the whole entire time. They had to have been basically with him in the dressing room, backstage, watching the Boosie concert, everything like that, right? And you see how, look, I want y'all to notice something. You see how that guy just ducked when Boosie whistled? Like, he just reacted to something. Yep. So I just want y'all to see he was with somebody else, man. Like, you got to realize that every time there's people, they see that big chain. You see the big chain, and he got that same brand hat on. So I want y'all to just realize that I had to show you for a second that, I figured out exactly what I was talking about last night about how he had to have been with the same person. He didn't come alone. So I'm just letting y'all know, and that's public out there for everybody to see right there. Like, that's been on his page this whole time. The picture's been out there this whole entire time, man. And it's just that people just now catching on, people just now realizing. I want you guys like this video as you coming in, because we really breaking down the whole situation of how he had all them people around him, but they tried to say, oh, this and that, like, he was being followed to the car. He was like, okay, then where's all the people that seen that? Like, you got to understand, there's witnesses out here, man, everything. So when Boosie went on Vlad, he started talking about how, oh, on Vlad asked him, what's this whole situation with Duke? And he was talking about how he invited Duke to come out to that dice game. He invited Duke to the concert and everything. And so, just like how I said in my last videos, that you basically gotta, like, if he invited him and gave him the tickets and everything like that. So if he gave him the tickets, then he's supposed to make sure he okay. Like, he's got to bring him into VIP and let Boosie security take care of Duke. And so we don't know why there was an issue with the security and why he didn't want to basically let Duke use his security or anything like that. Like, why did Duke have to follow Boosie? How come he didn't? How come he couldn't ride with him? Exactly. So if Boosie said that, oh, Duke was following the whole time, like he was trailing him so that he could be with the car entourage, it just don't make sense. Why wouldn't he just let him ride with him? There should have been enough room in the big GMC truck. And everybody's talking about that GMC truck, saying, that's one of the cars involved in this and that. They still got to figure out Duke's car and the car the people pulled up in with the masks. And they still got to locate the Louis duffel bag, because I told y'all he was in the elevator with those two bags. One of them was a book bag, the other one was a little duffel bag, just the same type of duffel bag that Two Chains has. So you realize that they really wanted the bags and the diamonds he came with, all that money and everything. Like out of Boosie's own mouth, he said they needed to come up with $1 million in 24 hours. Why would he need to come up with that much money for? And so then you see that Duke had all that bread on him, close to a mil. So if you just connect the dots, you will see it's something fishy going on. Like you don't have to point fingers or anything like that. But what you got to say is that, hey, if it's out there that they need a mill and then the dude with the mill end up getting jacked, that's basically the Jack Boys. And the dice game was really just a distraction to get everybody in the same room so they could flex the money they had. Like it could have been somebody else. Like, but they all knew Duke was gonna come there with the diamonds, with the jewelry, and that whole entire duffel bag that he came with. Like, and the fact that the person he came with wasn't no security. So even if he came with a girl or somebody else or assistant, it wasn't the security. So what the security does is how, they supposed to make sure, hey, what's the next location to go? They're gonna go make sure everybody already knows, like to be clearing the scene once they arrive. Like they got to make sure nobody's there waiting on them and stuff like that. And so they knew that, and that's why they didn't have Duke ride with him. So Boosie made the decision to say no, he has to follow in his own car, and knowing that if he followed Boosie in his own car, once they pull up to the concert, he's not going to be able to go through the same gate as him. He's not going to be able to go into the same parking garage because he doesn't have the sticker. Only Boosie's GMC truck had the sticker because he's been to that stadium before. And when Duke tried to pull up, they told him the whole little gate that goes up, it wouldn't even open. And it made him have to like reverse and go park somewhere else. He had to park in like the corner lot. And so once he pulled up to the corner lot, he tried to call Boosie, and he said that Boosie said he was in a whole different parking lot and that he just is gonna have to park in there and meet in the dressing room. So, but once the whole show got over and he actually was there for the show, for the whole show, Duke stayed. He watched Boosie when he went on stage. Then then when the show was over, it was like they left too quick. Everything was happening too fast. And so they told him, "Oh, just go back to the parking lot. We're gonna move on to the next place." And he's like, "Whoa, wait a minute! Everything was moving too fast." And basically, he starts going to his car into that corner lot. And remember, he couldn't park in the same parking lot as Boosie. If Boosie just would have let him ride with him, then they would have actually, like, he would have made it out that whole situation, because then he wouldn't have had to worry about the guys that ended up trying to rob him in that parking lot next to that garage. And so that's the big mistake. It's like you should have just let him get in the back seat. It's 3 rows. It's only the driver, and nobody's even sitting in the passenger seat of the truck. So I feel like Boosie had room in there. But like I said, they went in separate cars. So when Duke had to go back to the corner lot, that's when the people was waiting for him there. And it just made it a bad situation due to the fact that you really can't just like ignore the fact that if they were supposed to invite him and everything, like you should have had a vehicle for him with another driver, so that way they had the sticker, or even have somebody that has the badge ride with Duke, so that when they get to the gate to the parking lot, that they could show the badge, and then that they'd be able to enter the same parking lot as Boosie. So that's where they went wrong. That's where the whole group split up, when the group split up, that's when something is bound to happen. You don't want to split the groups up and have it where nobody's on the same page. Like, you got to stick into one group if you moving like that to a concert and everything. That way, if you don't all park next to each other, then it's like when y'all leaving out, you all by yourself leaving out. Boom, boom, boom. That's when somebody could pull up. So that's like a big mistake. And if Boosie was to do it again, he should have had him ride with him. That would have just fixed that whole thing, and we wouldn't be talking about none of this. And so now, when it comes to the missing Louis bags, like, everybody knows by now that Duke had those Louis bags going into uh, the elevator, and he brought some to the concert because he said he wanted to make a piece for Boosie. So where is that piece? Where did that end up going? Because now they're saying that Boosie is buying back a chain. He's buying this back, but then now he's selling all the trucks. He started selling cars for 200K left and right to come up with $1 million fast. And then because he had to buy the chain back with all that money. And so that's what ended up happening. Like, the chain could have went missing at the dice game. The chain could have went missing in between the drive or while he was parked in the parking lot. But now it's a lot of everybody saying that, oh, Boosie's coming up with all this bread and selling all these cars because they have to buy back the chain that the guy took from Duke. And it makes sense because they haven't recovered the duffel bags that had all of his belongings that he came with. He only showed up with those 2 bags in that elevator. And if you really look at it, it's like, for him to go back to his car, he would have had to have those bags with him. And so if he's got the bags with him and the people ran up on him, the stuff that they took was the bags, because Boosie said that they left him there and he still has some of his jewelry on, some of them. Keyword, not all. Like, he could have had more jewelry. They probably took the watch and the ring or some other type of thing, but the majority of the prized possession was in that duffel bag. And so, with that being said, basically, if they see any of these Louis bags coming into the pawn shops, or if these Louis bags start showing up for sale on the street corner or something random like that, then it's like, you got to check in and make sure that, is that related to Duke's? Is that Duke's bags? Because by now, anytime somebody takes anything, it's like, in the hood especially, if it's a chain, it's going to be passed around by everybody. One person sells it to the next person, they flex their picture, sell it to the next guy, and it just goes around until someone tries to take it into a jewelry shop, and if it's reported missing, then that's when they call it in. So if somebody takes that Louis bags to a pawn shop or something, they try to trade it in or something, get money for it, and it's reported missing, then they actually might call that in, like, for real. But when they check the list of everything Duke had on them, they're like, okay, they forgot to count the Louis bags. They're like, no, he just came, with just what his clothes on and the chains he had on. So they didn't think that he had the luggage with him. In the luggage bags is way more stuff. Like, everybody knows when you're traveling, they keep their wallet in the luggage, they keep their money in the luggage and everything like that, because they're going to be getting in and out the car so much, traveling and everything like that. They don't want their money to drop out of their pockets. They don't want their phone or their keys or something like that to drop out of their pocket and be left in a whole nother state. So they'll rather just leave some of the big ticket items in the luggage, and then they'll actually just go ahead and move around like lightly in their pockets. And so when he was walking back to his car, and he hit the button to unlock it, that's when they knew the brake lights lit up, and that's when they knew, okay, that's Duke getting like going back to his car. And he had the bag on him, like one over the shoulder and the other one in his hand. And so that's when they pulled up on him, and he had his hands full basically, and so he couldn't really do nothing at that time. And they caught him off guard, man. They caught him off guard. Like, he thought he was just supposed to get in his car and go to the next party. He was really waiting for the text to say like exactly what the address is, or if they had left out the parking garage yet. And like, even if he left out the parking garage, there's still traffic. It's still traffic out there. So if it's traffic out there, then they basically can't like get out fast in time anyways. You see what I'm saying? They would have caught him in traffic too, because had he followed Boosie, and like, let's say he was able to run away from the guys in the parking garage and he jumps in the car. If he follows Boosie and them out, the driver in Boosie's truck is going to try to swerve and dip and dodge out of traffic. And it's like, they know Boosie's car, so they probably won't even stop Boosie and them if they like take off. And then it would be the people chasing after Duke in the cars. So it would have turned into a high speed. And it would have been a situation where they would have ended up on the highway, just like how the whole thing played out with like Mo 3 and them, you see? And so you just got to understand that the minute that they said you have to take a different car and that he has to follow Boosie, that's when everything started becoming weird. That's when Duke got uncomfortable, and he's like, what's really going on here? Because if it was the other way around and Duke had a show and he invited Boosie, Duke would have just let Boosie ride with him in his car. That way they don't run into the issue where Duke has to go and park in the corner lot and be targeted because there's nobody else parked in that corner lot. Like, that whole parking garage side is empty. And that's what made it even more sketchy. Like, how are you going to trust anybody in an empty parking garage like that late at night? So you got to be able to look around for your surroundings and just see that, hey, everything might have been smooth then, but the way everything is looking, because of the fact that there's no security, plus it's like Boosie wouldn't let him ride with him, and there were not enough tickets to bring anybody else, like any of his partners or anything like that. So it kind of just boiled down to like, it started seeming like he wasn't messing with Duke no more after that. So what happened with that situation is that that's what it seemed like. And so you just got to understand that when the fact that Boosie was there that night, it just plays a whole crazy role into it. And so everybody is basically like hyped, talking about this whole thing. You got everybody commenting, saying that they wrong for this and that they're going to try to melt down the jewelry and sell it. If anybody sees that, they're going to probably look out for Duke and be like, no, I can't melt this down. Like, it's more than like the money you make from that, just melting that down. It's not worth the whole situation with being involved with melting down Duke's jewelry like that. You would just be letting that whole thing continue. So like this video too, like this live, man. Let's get the likes up. Comment down below, man. What you guys thinking about this? We're gonna ask the chat, man. So just be careful, because the dice game was really what got him there. Like, he was gonna go for just the concert and stuff, and he might not have brought all that money and the extra jewelry and stuff. But the fact they were like, no, we're gonna play a big dice game, then that's when he brought everything out with the Louis bags and all that. And so it was really just like a setup, kind of. It was like a trap. if you participated and you showed up and you pulled out the stacks and everything like that, then they're gonna be like, oh, okay, he pulled out the stacks, so that means, this. If he's gambling with that money, then that means you willing to lose it. So they're not gonna solve this because nobody's gonna look into it like that deep. So like this video, y'all. Go ahead, check out all the other videos I got. I'm gonna catch you on the next one.